Welcome to the Western Association for College Admission Counseling College Fair. We're excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. My name is Matt and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so please be sure to check the schedule on the website for more. The presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/w. Our first, UC San Diego.
Thank you so much, Matt, for that introduction. I'm going to go on ahead and share my screen. Perfect. So hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to the presentation today. My name is Antoinette Anderson. I'm an admissions officer.
Well, it looks like Antoinette is frozen for us at the moment. So let's move on to UC Santa Barbara, and we'll circle back to UC San Diego later on in the session.
All right, thank you so much, Matt. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. My name is Robin. I am the Assistant Director for High School Services here in the Office of Admissions at UC Santa Barbara. I'm super excited to briefly talk to you all about UCSB, so let's go ahead and jump in. Located about 100 miles north of Los Angeles, UC Santa Barbara sits in sunny Southern California on a truly gorgeous piece of land. 1/3 of campus is situated overlooking the Pacific Ocean. Now, 1/3 of our campus really does border the Santa Barbara area. We have a bus stop from campus. We have shuttles to the LA area. So really wherever you're from, you are able to get to and from UCSB. Moving on to our academics, we truly offer a collaborative and engaging undergraduate experience for our students. Faculty are teaching all of our lectures. You are learning from some of the best. Really, they have the awards to prove it, from 6 Nobel laureates to Pulitzer Prize award winners and more. Now, we ask students to pick a major in the UC application. Over 100 majors can be overwhelming to students, but I'm going to break it down for you. We have our College of Letters and Science. This college offers about 80 programs, including undeclared. Now, in the Office of Admissions, we do not review major for the College of Letters and Science. So in other words, there are no impacted majors in this college. Choose what you like, whether it's econ, math, linguistics, or political science. Now, moving on to our College of Engineering, this does require us to admit by major. Students can pick from one of the 5 options. We need you to list engineering as your first choice major when you're applying to UC Santa Barbara. You need to have pre-calculus or higher by your senior year in order to be a competitive applicant, and your math grades will matter in our engineering review. I'm just cutting straight to the point. Lastly, our College of Creative Studies allows students with a narrow focus to explore their major under the guidance of a faculty advisor. Students need to submit a supplemental application to UC Santa Barbara if you are applying to the College of Creative Studies. Faculty and the student's intended major, they review those supplemental applications, and then they share recommendations with the Office of Admissions at UCSB. Now, if you have any questions about any of our 3 colleges or admissions in any of the 3 colleges, I'll go ahead and share my email in the chat at the end of this presentation. Now, moving on to housing. The UCSB campus really is great for any and all students. We offer students 9 residence halls overlooking the Pacific Ocean. Students are asked to request housing by a set deadline after admissions decisions are posted. And housing does include dining facilities, which also showcase vegan and vegetarian options for students. Now, moving to our community, making friends and building community really isn't as easy as attending a sporting event or joining a club or a Greek organization. We have all the national sororities and fraternities, as well as some multicultural sororities and fraternities as well as you can see, over 600 student organizations that our students have created that facilitate leadership opportunities and just community building, as I mentioned earlier. Now, because students live either on or within a mile of campus, it really is easy to feel like family in weeks or even days as UCSB students. Now, we do recognize curriculums from most schools from really across the globe. Now, I know this isn't an international event, but I did just want to mention that. But whether you're have an A through F scale, an IB 1 through 7 scale, we want you on our campus. Now, of course, here are some majors for you in regards to UCSB. This is a great screen to take a screenshot of. So if you want to look at the majors that we have at UCSB for undergraduates, cost of attendance, the UC application, which is now open. If you are a senior and you are applying to the UC system, you can start working on your application. But remember, you're not able to submit until November 1st with a deadline of November 30th. And of course, we do have some virtual resources for all of our prospective students as we are still living in a COVID world. And if you have any further questions, again, about UC Santa Barbara, the UC application, whatever it may be, please feel free to contact UCSB for me at sa.ucsb.edu. We are happy to help applicants in any way that we can. Thanks, everyone.
Great, thank you, Robin. We're going to go back to UC San Diego. Antoinette has reconnected and I think is here.
I lost connection. Hopefully my presentation still start from the so again, my name is Antoinette Anderson. Admissions officer at UC San Diego. So our campus is fairly large, about 1,200 acres of land. We are the second largest city in California. So lots of people here. One thing I really love about San Diego is it really takes that big city atmosphere. I'm so sorry. Can everyone hear me? Just give me like a thumbs up if you can, my panelists. I'm so sorry, my internet doesn't.
You're lagging a little bit.
I'm lagging a little bit. Okay. Should I can go at the end so I can just get my like technology together and see what's going on over here.
Excellent.
Okay.
That sounds good. So up next will be University of California, Riverside.
Perfect. Let me go ahead and share my screen. All right. Thank you, everybody, for attending. As I was able to say, my name is Jeremy McWells. I'm the Assistant Director of Undergraduate Recruitment and Evaluation here at University of California, Riverside. Essentially, what I do is supervise those who read your application. So let's go ahead and get started. The 3 words that you can expect and can kind of summarize your time here at UCR is going to be unique, committed, and real, just like you. Let's go ahead and move forward with the first slide here. As you can see, our location, we're kind of in a prime location when it comes to really everything there is to do in Southern California. You have Big Bear Mountain, Disneyland, Huntington Beach, not too far away from Las Vegas from an hours perspective, not too far away from Coachella Valley, Bay Area. So there's a lot of different attractions around the university itself, in terms of our location, we're in Riverside County, so right at the foothills of the mountains. So there are awesome hiking options as well, and not too far away from the beach, as I mentioned earlier. So kind of the best of both worlds there. That's certainly going to be something that I refer to quite often, the best of both worlds. In terms of what we look like today, we have over 25,000 students, right, with a faculty group of over 1,100, and 98% of our faculty do have their PhDs. They are researchers first and then faculty second. So the ability to really network and to learn underneath these faculty members is truly one that not every single student going to college will have, the prestige of our faculty members. And then the 21-to-1 average student to faculty ratio is going to be more so felt in your upper division courses, and you'll have also that lecture hall experience on ground, most likely, as we're moving back to on ground this fall. You'll have, once again, as I said before, the best of both worlds, as you'll kind of have this large environment of learning and then this more intimate learning environment as you move forward. And then over 120,000 alumni changing the world. And guess what? That is now going to be, once you're a Highlander, a part of your network. We have amazing programs under amazing colleges. I'll go very briefly over this. The Marlin and Rosemary Bournes College of Engineering does offer what's called a BS plus MS program. Essentially, to make a long story short, you go 4 years, you tack on one more year, you can walk away with both your bachelor's and your master's in engineering. So definitely look out into that website and for more information there. The College of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences is our most popular college under the umbrella of UCR, meaning that over 60% of students do reside in this particular college. The College of Natural and Agricultural Sciences is also a great opportunity to explore STEM majors for students who are interested. We have what's called our entomology major, which is really the only entomology program in all the UCs. Our Graduate School of Education does offer one undergraduate program there. So for those of you who are interested in pursuing a career in education, you can actually have experience at a graduate school kind of earlier on. Our School of Business does hold our AACSB accreditation, which only 5% of business schools across the nation have. And then our School of Public Policy is the only undergraduate program, public policy offering within all of the UCs. Only undergraduates at UCR can attain this particular degree. So definitely we have something for everybody here. For more information on what specifics are in each college, please do visit our website. Housing, convenient, safe, fun, the amenities, the learning communities, all of this is certainly true. The idea that you can just wake up and just get ready to go to your class and it's literally down the way is something that, is hard to describe and it's just incredibly beneficial. Safe, we have campus police who has a great reputation amongst our students. Fun, we have awesome spring splash and fall block concerts that offer pretty much all types of entertainment, music, comedy, and so on and so forth. Amenities, we have learning environments. We just opened 2 new housing residence halls, brand new, one for upperclassmen, one for incoming freshmen. So there's a lot that surrounds the idea of housing. And so if you want to look at the idea of potentially getting more information when it comes to pricing or plans, please visit our website at housing.ucr.edu. Very briefly, just to go over the requirements for admission. Once again, you already kind of know this is a review at this particular point, but C or better in all A through G courses. We're looking at a minimum GPA of a 3.0, and the UC A through G courses can be found down below here. Like I said, all of this should be reviewed for you all, but just wanted to lay that out just in case. Main thing here is a 3.0 GPA is how the conversation starts, right? So that 3.4 for our non-resident students, just in case you may know anybody. And once again, for both sides of students, it's the 10th and 11th weighted grade as a max. And the hot news coming from UC, as my colleague Robin also knows from Santa Barbara, is we will not be using standardized testing, ACT and SAT scores within our process. This is actually going to be extended to 2024, okay? So for right now, at this particular point, you can certainly submit your ACT or SAT. It can be used to get you out of a placement exam or meet an A through G requirement. However, it's not a mandatory part of the application process like it once was. So if that's something that you were certainly interested in, feel free to do whatever really, makes you comfortable as a student. And I want to go ahead and thank you all for being a part of this presentation. If you have any questions, please do contact us at admissions.ucr.edu. And don't forget to follow us on social media. We're on pretty much every single thing: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, YouTube, all types of stuff, right? And then if you want more information, make sure to go ahead and scan that QR code so you can get UCR in your inbox and get the latest and greatest news coming out of UCR. I want to thank you all again. You all stay safe. We'll speak to you soon.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Next up is University of Redlands.
All right, everyone. My name is Sejal Wadi, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about the University of Redlands. We are a small liberal arts college here in Southern California. So we're located in the suburbs outside of Los Angeles. What's nice about our location is that students have a quiet, very strong community-oriented space to live, but we're not in the middle of nowhere, so you still have access to everything that Southern California has to offer. As I mentioned, we are a small college, so we have around 2,400 undergraduate students at the University of Redlands. We are primarily a residential institution, and so we guarantee housing all 4 years, and the majority of our students live on campus. So student life is a big part of the Redlands experience. There's lots of ways to get involved, from athletics. We are a Division III school, to our diversity organization, service organization, student government, Greek life, and the like. But the majority of our students are hanging out on campus. It's kind of where they live, it's where they learn, and it's where they are creating community. We strive to be an inclusive and socially conscious institution, and our goal is to educate the hearts and minds of our students. And so we try to provide a balanced education. We want to make sure that, of course, you grow academically and in your career interests, but we also want to make sure that you're growing as a person, that you understand the importance of service, and you understand the importance of having a vibrant community. So there's just a few things we like to make sure that students know about who we are as an institution. In terms of academics at Redlands, we have a variety of things to offer. Since we are a small college, classes are small. Our student faculty ratio is 13:1. Classes tend to be between 10 and 20 students. And when you get in your upper level division courses, those can get as small as 8 to 10 students. Because we're a small school, with the exception of our music and our Johnson program, we do not admit by major. So it makes the application process very easy because everyone goes through the same application process, and all of our students start out as major undeclared. You have your first 2 years to explore, see what interests you, and then you can declare whatever programs of interest that you like. You do not have to apply for your major. The only students who have to go through a special admissions process are our specialty programs, which is our School of Music. If any of you are interested in music, we have a classically based conservatory style School of Music, and those students have to audition. Our other special program is our Johnston Center for Integrative Studies. Anyone who's interested in creating their own major can do so through Johnston, but you have to apply for that. So music students who want to create their own major through Johnston, you have to apply to be part of that program. Everything else, from accounting to biology to studio art to business, no special admissions process. When you get to Redlands, you can explore and then declare your major. You can major in one, double major, major in minor. You do whatever is interesting to you. A few other things just to know about academics at Redlands is, I mentioned already, our classes are small. All classes are also taught by faculty at Redlands, and we are big believers in experiential-based learning. So we want to get you out the classroom. We think that when you're in college, it is important to have real life experiences. And so that can look like study abroad. Any student in any program can study abroad, and we have over 100 different options and different ways for you to have an international experience while you're in college. That might look like internships, service, research, field work, lots of different opportunities. It's one thing to read about something in the textbook. It's another thing to have a real world experience. We think this offers depth in your different majors, but also these are things that employers and graduate schools are going to want to see when you're leaving Redlands. So if you like project-based learning, if you want to have internships and research and service and different things to be part of your 4 years, definitely would encourage you to visit our website and learn more about the academic programs that we have and the different opportunities that are available through those programs. So as I mentioned, because we're a smaller school and the majority of our majors are part of our main college, it makes our admissions process pretty straightforward. We are a private school, and so because of that, we use the common application. So if you're interested in Redlands, you need to apply via the Common App. Beyond that, you will need to send us your high school transcripts and letters of recommendation, and then we are test optional, and that's a permanent test optional decision. So whether you are a junior or a senior, we are test optional, but everyone needs to submit a Common App, transcript, and letters of recommendation. Do know we have different deadlines depending upon your interest. So we have our early deadlines, which are in November, and our regular decision, which is January 15th. If you're able to get in all your parts and pieces by November, you will hear back from us by January. If you wait and apply in January, you won't hear back from us until a little bit later in the year in March. But either way, we need the same things: Common App, transcript, letters of recommendation, and test scores. And the only students who have to send in additional work would be anyone interested in music. You would also need to set up an audition. And then anyone who wants to create their major through Johnston, you would need to do an additional application as well. We know financial aid is something that a lot of students think about. Even though we are a private school, we offer a variety of aid that could be need-based grants. And so you want to complete a FAFSA. And if any of you live in California, if you're undocumented, then you'll want to do the California Dream Act application. Also know we give academic merit scholarships, talent scholarships. So we give a variety of financial aid. So if you're interested in a private education, don't put it off because of costs. There are a variety of grants and scholarships available. We would love to connect with you more one-on-one, talk with you about what we have in our admissions process. Definitely would encourage you, send us an email, follow us on social media, and come and visit us. We are in person, classes are in person. We have in-person tours. So if you live locally, definitely would encourage you to come and visit us. Take care, everyone, and have a great evening.
Excellent. Thanks very much. Next up is Macquarie University, Sydney.
Awesome. Thanks very much. I've just got this ready. Hopefully that's it. My name is Leanne Allen and I represent Macquarie University in Sydney, Australia. So just heading over from California across the Pacific Ocean, and I promise it's not that far. It's about a 12-hour flight from Los Angeles or San Francisco direct into Sydney. Generally, you leave about 11 o'clock in the evening and get into Sydney about 7 o'clock in the morning. So if you ignore the international time zone, it's just a quick sleep and you arrive in Australia and we will pick you up from the airport. You arrive in this stunning city of Sydney of 8 million people. So being a student at Macquarie, you have the best of both worlds, that big cosmopolitan city experience, which is incredibly multicultural and has been ranked the top 3 most livable cities in the world. Then you can head to the beaches. This is a Bondi Beach, one of the most famous beaches in Australia. Fun fact for you, if you saw one new beach in Australia, it would take you 27 years to see them all. And we have been ranked top 5 safest cities in the world as well. So from the beaches, you can head back to campus, which is a stunning Parklands University. We have 40,000 students, and of that, there are 12,000 international students. So incredibly diverse student population on campus. There is a lot of things happening on campus. It's a very similar experience to what you would find at a US institution. We have lots of clubs and associations. That first photo there is our Macquarie, our mascot. The university is named after the 5th governor of New South Wales, who was Scottish, hence why we have a Scottish name. That middle photo there is one of 2 swimming pools that we have on campus. We have a very impressive sports and aquatic centre. I do like to point out that it is an outdoor swimming pool because our weather does allow it. It's very similar to Southern California. If it's below like 60 degrees, we'll complain it's too cold. If it's above 90 degrees, we'll complain it's too hot. So we like a very temperate climate similar to SoCal. We have 24-hour, 7-day support services for students. So if you're feeling a bit homesick and you want to chat to someone, you can go to our news centre. If you have been out and you've lost your purse or your wallet, you can go and get an emergency $50. So it's a very welcoming campus, and there's certainly a lot of support there. And just remember, there's 12,000 international students. So every one of those 12,000 students knows what it's like to study and to go somewhere new and start their degree. So what can you study and how is it different? So in Australia, generally speaking, our degrees are actually 3 years in duration. We don't have general education requirements. So you actually go straight into what you want to study. You do need to know what you want to study when you apply to the university though, so keep that in mind. You can't come in undecided to Macquarie or any Australian university. Our most popular courses are accounting, international business and business administration, as well as our media and communications and security studies, and criminology. We also have an engineering degree, which has 6 specializations, and it is a 4-year degree program. Our professional degrees are generally 4 years. Fun fact for you, our academics actually invented the science behind Wi-Fi, so you're welcome. And our flagship program is our Bachelor of Clinical Science and Doctor of Medicine degree, which is a 6-year program out of high school. And once you graduate, you are able to register as a doctor in Australia and come back to the States, sit the medical exams here and be a doctor. So you can save 4 years of medical school and a lot of money in that time as well. If you're not entirely sure what you want to do, you could do a Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Commerce, for example, which is 4 years in duration. You can certainly change your degree during your studies. There is flexibility there, and you can put majors and minors together as you please. We do have on-campus accommodation. Generally speaking, you will have your own bedroom and you may have your own bathroom, or you might share depending on which option you do choose. We do have meal plans, but they're generally associated with the college where you are staying, so the residential halls, as opposed to the general university. You apply for accommodation once you have an offer to the university, but we will help you throughout that entire process. Tuition, it's approximately $24,000 per year for tuition. Some programs are more expensive. For example, our medical science, medical degree, are more expensive. But generally speaking, it's about $24,000. Cost of attendance, including all living costs, is about $40,000 per year. And when you take into consideration that it's generally a 3-year degree program, it can be a really affordable option for students. You can use your US financial aid and GI Bill if you're eligible for that. We also have merit-based scholarships, and you can work while studying in Australia. A minimum wage is about $19 an hour, which can be super helpful. So how to apply? You submit a free application through the university website. We have rolling admissions. And again, it's free to submit that application. We generally get an outcome to you within about 2 weeks of submitting. We are currently test optional. So if you have taken the SAT, ACT, great, you can submit that. If not, no problem. We'll just assess the GPA for entry into the degree. We don't require essays or recommendation letters. It's very much an academic-based process. We go by the theory that you're mature enough to decide if this is the right fit for you. We don't make that decision for you. So once you submit that application, you should get an outcome pretty quickly, and then we are able to help you with your visa and get you to Australia. Being in the Southern Hemisphere, our dates are a little bit different. We commence in the February and July of each year, and some programs have a November intake as well. But you kind of have a delayed summer vacation if you start in the July, because you then have December, January, and February off on the Southern Hemisphere's summer vacation. That's it from me. Feel free to snap the QR code there and get in contact if you have any questions. And I look forward to speaking with you about studying in Australia.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And next up is Soka University of America.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Chelsea. I am one of the admission counselors at Soka to talk to you today about our institution. We are Soka University of America up in Orange County, California, about an hour south of LA and an hour-ish north of San Diego. We are 3 miles inland of Laguna Beach in the Pacific Ocean and just on the edge of suburbia. So we have Trader Joe's and grocery store, movie theaters all within a mile of campus. So the mission of Soka University of America is to foster a steady stream of global citizens committed to living a contributive life. We were founded in 2001 with this mission in mind, and the word Soka is a Japanese translation of the idea value creation. Key facts: the town we're in is Aliso Viejo, and the traditional and ancestral home of the Ahachiman people. We have 450 students, which 40% are international, so literally one of the most diverse liberal arts schools in the nation. We are a fully residential community, so students do live all 4 years on our campus. We offer a singular major, the BA in liberal arts, and have 5 interdisciplinary concentrations, a robust study abroad requirement, and a capstone project as part of our graduation requirement. A 7-to-1 student to faculty ratio means it's a very high touch institution, and our average class size is 12, so we use discussion dialogue-based learning. We compete in NAI athletics and have very generous merit and need-based financial aid. Soka's education really focuses on bridging Eastern and Western perspectives. We're non-sectarian, so we don't have any religious requirements, but we're very proudly founded on the Buddhist principles of peace, human rights, and the sanctity of life. So there is a focus on really bridging and bringing those throughout the curriculum. One of the things program highlights we have is our study abroad. All of our students will take a non-native language of either Mandarin, Japanese, French, or Spanish for 2 years at Soka. And then in the third year, they'll study abroad for a semester in a city, enrolled at another university in the place that speaks their target language. So it's a truly immersive experience. You're there for about 6-ish months. You live with host family or local roommate to get the cultural component too, because again, we're really trying to build global citizens. And because it is a graduation requirement, the cost is completely built into the cost of attendance. Our 5 academic concentrations include environmental studies, humanities, international studies, life sciences, and social behavioral sciences. The concentrations are different than a minor in that they're not preset. Instead, students really get to determine and decide which combination of classes to make up their concentration, as long as 3 are upper division. In terms of our residential community, Soka makes sure that each student lives with a roommate, so they get that constant cross-cultural exchange, but it's only them and the roommate sharing a bathroom. We have Soka Shuttle for students who don't have a car. We have a full-time mental health counselor, as well as the on-campus health center, which is helping make sure all our students are safe right now during the pandemic. The Office of Disability Services, as well as career internships, and a full Soka meal plan. So 3 meals a day on school days, 2 on the weekend, and a cafeteria. Our student body is quite active through different clubs, particularly performance clubs, MUN, that sort of thing, as well as about 14 different affinity groups, orientation leaders, which help our students adjust to life on campus employment, rec classes in the gym, as well as the Soka Performing Arts Center, which is the 1,000-seat auditorium. These are some of the posters put on by Residential Life that really emphasize self-care, making sure to celebrate the different identities on campus, celebrating holidays, as well as learning some important life skills. We compete in the NAI, National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics, CalPAC division for men and women's soccer, cross country, track and field, swimming and diving, and women's golf. Majority of our athletes are actively recruited, but we do have students as well who decide to walk on. So anyone interested should go to www.sokaathletics.com and fill out the recruit questionnaire. Our admission process is now open for fall 2022. Our early action deadline is November 1st. It is non-binding and students will be notified by December 1st. Otherwise, the regular decision deadline is January 15th with a decision date of March 1st. Soka is selective, but we use holistic reviews, so we don't have minimum GPAs or anything like that. Our admission process is pretty straightforward. Application form, we are Common App School, $30 or application fee waiver, official high school and college transcripts, 2 letters of recommendation, 2 mandatory essays, list of extracurricular activities, and we are test optional for fall 2022. Our financial aid, our tuition is about $32,000 and our room and board is $13,000. For families who make under $60,000, the Soka Opportunity Grant will cover the full cost of tuition. For families who make more than $60,000, it's a sliding scale. So this allows us to have really great socioeconomic diversity amongst our student body, both international, domestic, and undocumented. We offer merit scholarships from $5,000 to $13,000 that can go towards room and board or tuition. And those are renewed all 4 years with satisfactory GPA. Plus, continuing students can earn additional academic scholarships. Athletic scholarships are awarded directly by the coaches. Soka participates in the federal or Soka loan program, and we take any federal or state funding, including Pell Grant, Work Study, FSEOG. Last year, 98% of our students received financial aid, and we awarded almost $14 million in institutional aid during the pandemic. So we're really committed to making sure Soka's within reach. This is our office and our Instagram, so please follow us if you'd like to learn some more. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you, Chelsea. And now we are going to go back to UC San Diego.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry, everyone. My internet is going to get better on my screen. That way we can get the whole presentation. Let me go on ahead and present where time. So again, Antoinette Anderson. Our campus is pretty large, about 1,200 acres of land. So lots of real estate for you to kind of bike, skateboard, roller skate, scooter, all over campus, right on campus. We're about 10 minutes from the beach. So that's one of my favorite things about campus. And really where I've been moving in California is always just trying to stay beachside because I love the ocean. A little bit about San Diego. It's such a big city. It's the second biggest city in California. There's so much to do. I don't have enough time to go through all the different attractions, but I'll go through some of the biggest things that happen in San Diego and some of my favorite things. So Comic-Con is one of the biggest things that happens in San Diego. We have people come from all over the world who come and dress up in cosplay as characters from their favorite TV shows and movies. So that happens in downtown San Diego every year. We have Coronado Island, and so I really like to go there and do some fun outdoor activities, including riding a bike. You can ride a bike. It's very affordable. You just rent the bike for like $8 an hour, kind of bike around the island. And I never really have to bike for longer than 2 hours. So that's something really fun that you can do. Lots of outdoor activities. You've got the San Diego Zoo and Balboa Park, such big attractions in San Diego. And then you have Gaslamp, which is known for our nightlife, but I really like it for its food. It's just blocks and blocks and blocks of restaurants. So many delicious food places for you to eat at. And San Diego also has a fantastic taco scene. If you have questions, I'll drop my email in the chat. You all can ask me some questions about tacos or San Diego and UC San Diego. We have several top rankings on our campus. And so the nice thing about the rankings on our campus is that they really do change from department to department. So we were ranked 9th in the nation for one of the best computer science departments. That's something our campus is very proud of. Something our campus is very proud of. We were ranked the fourth public college in the West, according to the Wall Street Journal, and then the number for best public college for its value, according to Princeton Review. We were also ranked number 1 in the nation for not only graduating, but also enrolling women in STEM. So if we have any women who are interested in STEM, UC San Diego is a fantastic place to be. And we are a top tier research institution. So last year we received about $1.4 billion just for our students to go out and research. So you have lots of opportunities at UC San Diego, even as early as your first year on campus to start doing research and getting your hands wet. And the system is just a little bit different than it is at some of our other some of our other, not UC, our other universities. So at most universities, your college is really attached to your major. But at UC San Diego, our college system is a residential college system. We have 7 different colleges. You'll rank them 1 through 7 on the application. 1 is the college you like the most. 7 is the college you like the least. And then we actually place you into that college. It's really important to know that you can be any college, any major, any college. So one college is not better for a certain major than another one is, but one will align with your personal values better than the other. So each college has its own theme, philosophy, or mission. So if that's a little confusing, think of it a little bit like the Hogwarts houses at Harry Potter. So the same way that there's a Slytherin and a Gryffindor and a Hufflepuff and a Ravenclaw, we've got a 7th college and a Warren and a Marshall and a Revell. So it's the same concept, just without all the magic. There are tons of options for you to live on campus. You do live within your college. And so for our first year students are typically living in suite style learning where you're sharing common areas and then you're not paired with more than 2 people in 1 bedroom. We do have dozens of restaurants, markets, and food trucks with vegan, kosher, and halal options to meet your dietary restrictions and needs. And especially for our students who do have severe allergies, we do have a nutritionist on campus that will help you kind of create your meals and that will prepare them in separate areas. So that's something that I thought was really cool that we do on campus because not all campuses have the capacity to do that. And then we also have living and learning communities, which are theme style housing, and it has like a curriculum around it. One of the best ways to really enhance your experience, and this is where you go, is by getting involved. We have over 500 different student clubs and organizations. that you can get involved in. That does include student government, Greek life, so fraternities and sororities. We do have a student newspaper as well. And then we also just transitioned to NCAA Division I, which we'll get into in that next slide. And then we have some fun campus events. One of our biggest events is the Sun God Music Festival. Imagine Coachella, make it a little bit smaller and move it to UC San Diego's campus. That's basically what our Sun God Music Festival is. It's like a mini campus Coachella. And we've had really cool headliners like Drake and Snoop Dogg and Maroon 5 in the past. So just some fun names to kind of throw out there. Again, we are Division I athletics. We have 23 different sports teams on campus. We also have intramural sports. So that is just a step up from club sports, but a step down from those collegiate sports. And so that's a great way to kind of stay active without such high competition. We have a ton of different resource centers on campus. A few of them are La Raza Resource Centro. We have the Black Resource Center. We have the Intertribal Resource Center, Cross-Cultural Resource Center, just to name a few of the ones that we do have on campus. You can visit our website to find out more information about the different campus resource centers that we have. So I can kind of go ahead and skip through these little slides, but we'd like for you to stay connected with us. We have different virtual events that are happening. And so you can use this link here and just stay abreast of all the events. You can explore our campus virtually by doing a virtual tour and just stay connected with us on social media and by giving us a call, sending us an email, or setting up a virtual appointment. Thank you all so much for your time.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And thank you to all of our presenters. We have a few minutes for some Q&A before we conclude this session. So I invite all of our presenters to come back on camera and respond to this question. What advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we can go in the same order that you presented.
All right. Well, hello again, everyone. I'd say that the advice that I would give students in the whole college search, college application process would be to reach out to admissions counselors, admissions representatives, officers, whatever they may be called on their particular campus. As you can see, there are admissions representatives for almost every single university. So it is our job to answer your questions, whether those questions be admissions related or about our campus. And those questions can be answered via email, via phone call, via Zoom meeting. So that's my best piece of advice for you, is don't be afraid to reach out, because we are more than happy to answer those questions for you and help you find out if our campus is a good fit for you.
I couldn't agree more, Robin. I think communication is going to be key. And even when it comes to those, quote unquote, what everyone feels is a stupid question or a silly question, there really isn't, especially when it comes to this process of going to college. It can be intimidating no matter what type of environment you're coming from, or who went to school in your family, or where you are in terms of your knowledge of campus and college and the admission process. So once again, communicate throughout the whole entire cycle, not only as you're going through the application process, but let's say you get into one of the universities of your choice, even when it comes to reporting grades, when it comes to any type of change of schedule, anything like that, continue to communicate really throughout the entire time, all the way up until enrollment. And even then, still communicate with those who you need to.
I echo what they said, right? That's why we are here, to help you and assist you. The other advice I would actually give is to breathe. It is a marathon and not a sprint. And so it can feel like you spend almost all of your senior year just trying to get letters of recommendations and doing applications. And so while yes, you need to do all of those things, please also make sure that you take the time to enjoy your senior year, to occasionally talk about things other than college or test scores or applications or essays. So that actually would be my advice. It is a long process. And so in order for you to survive it and still feel like you had an enjoyable senior year of college, breathe, make sure you take a breath and have moments to have fun and just take stock of high school.
I would say don't be afraid to look far and wide and out of your neighborhood, because the 3 or 4 years of your university degree is going to go so quickly, and there's probably never going to be a time again where you have the flexibility to travel the world. So if the thought of going abroad for the full program is a bit terrifying, make sure you do a study abroad or an exchange program during your university degree or your graduate studies. You will never, ever regret it.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly with everything. I think I would add to that any college can become your favorite college if you have the right mindset about it, right? Like sometimes things don't work out the way you want them to, and that's okay. You just can still make wherever you go can be made a good experience if you have the right tools and mindset.
I 100% agree and echo everything that everyone else says. My piece of advice would definitely be look beyond the academics when it comes to college, because your college experience is so much more than just those academics. That geographical location is going to matter. All of those different things will matter when you're going to college. So think outside the box and take your time and be patient and have grace with yourself.
Excellent. Thank you all very much. So we are at the end of this session. So I want to say thank you for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a quick survey. We do appreciate your feedback. We do encourage you to check the schedule for additional sessions that are happening as part of this fair. And you'll be able to find your recording for this session and others at strivescan.com/WACAC. So thank you again so much to our presenters, and have a great rest of your evening.